Today's episode is a very special one because sitting with me here are youth leaders, past and present. From the first president who started it all to the current one carrying the vision forward. This is a story of leadership growth and legacy at EQUSaT University of Science and Technology. Joining us today, we have Joy Kayango, the founding guild president. We have John Watson, the second guild president, who strengthened the foundation. We have Mariam Jura Ahmed, the third guild president, who focused on student welfare. And we have the one and only Sharif, the fourth and the current guild president of EQUUSaT in the era of innovation. So I would like each president to briefly share their story on how they joined EQUUSaT, their first impressions, and their early campus life, and what inspired them to go into leadership. We'll begin with the first guild president, Joy.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be here today. My name is Joy Kayango Nansereko, and I was the first guild president of EQUUSaT University of Science and Technology.
Yes. So the first question was, how did you join EQUUSaT? How did you join? How did you hear about EQUUSaT? When did you join?
Okay, I had EQUUSaT through my mom. My mom is the district health officer of Masaka. So as the university was starting, they went through her. So that's how she got to know. So then I was in my senior 6 vacation. Then mommy brought me here. So I was inspired by the nice infrastructures of EQUUSaT University. The environment looked so friendly. So I was like, in Jesus' name, I have to join here. So yeah, it was so nice. The infrastructure was nice. And when I joined in my first year, the staff members, both the teaching and non-teaching staff, were very friendly. They made the environment so friendly and an educative environment for a beginner. So as we began EQUUSaT, even the Vice Chancellor was very welcoming. So I was really inspired by the environment of EQUUSaT.
Wow, thank you very much. So you've answered your first impressions about how the environment inspired you, the infrastructure, how you joined. Well, so tell us about your early campus life. How was it like?
My early campus life was very engaging because since I was from high school, I was a person who was so passionate about joining those social events. So I participated in many social events like event leadership. Since I was in my early school, I've always been a leader. I was a master prefect in my primary. I used to be club president in my O-level secondary life. So I'm a person who likes social events, like those things of many activities that you can't, like sports. So I'm a person who is so interactive. I love to interact with people. So I love associating with people. So it made me want to lead, and I guess even some leadership skill.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you very much. I will be moving on to the next guild president after Joy Kayango, the one and only His Excellency, John Hanson Joe. So over to you, Your Excellency. How did you join EQUUSaT? Briefly, you could even tell us what were your first impressions about EQUUSaT, and what basically inspired you to join or take up leadership roles?
Well, thank you for letting me join you on this podcast. Yes, as you stated earlier, my name is John Johansson John, and I'm independent to you all. How I joined EQUUSaT. So, being a pioneer student, the way I joined should be really different, but it's similar in so many ways to how Joy joined the university. So, for me, I'm a former clinical officer who had just graduated in 2021, I think around June. So I was looking forward to upgrade and become a medical officer. As it aligns with what I wanted in life, in my career. So as I was looking for a university, I actually got to get an application granted from one of the other universities around Uganda. Then news of EQUSaT came in. When it came in, I was hesitant to join starting a university. But its vision and the values, they are what pulled me towards joining it. It was different and it aligned with what I wanted to see in my future. Yes, the ambience was really good when I came here, and the people were good. They had the lecturers, everything was here that I really wanted. Yeah, and that's how I came to join EQUSaT.
Well, thank you very much. That's a good story. Could you briefly tell us how your early campus life was?
So my early campus life, in the very beginning, it was really exciting, as it should. It was really exciting. I had a lot of expectations, and I had a lot of dreams, maybe that I wanted to do at the time. However, along the way, it was a bit challenging, academically, and the challenges, they come in, but you go through. At even one point, I wanted to quit the course, and but things happen, and you change, and then you get back in line and follow what you came for.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. So over to the good President, His Excellency, my very own classmate and classmate, Bariam Jura Ahmed.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. David.
Yes. I would say my host.
Thank you so much, my host.
My questions for you are, what inspired you to join leadership role? But before you give me that answer, how did you hear about the university? How did you? Because I believe you're from the West, unlike. Zero Conju.
I'm going to tell you.
Okay. So what inspired you to join?
So to begin with, how did you? My name is Bariam Jura Ahmed.
Yes.
Yeah, I like introducing myself. I don't know why at the start almost everyone was smiling on looking at me. When we began with the pioneer president, then it continued in that line. But I had about EQUUSaT through my postmates at the university I was on. This was my first university. I had been at the university for some courses, and then that's how I had through EQUUSaT. But getting more knowledge about EQUUSaT, it was through a friend who is also in one of the sister universities to EQUUSaT.
Okay.
So I was seeking admission. I got the admission at that university, but a friend told me, no, you can get a better choice. So I seconded EQUUSaT. I came, I looked at the university, I interacted with some of the administrators who were there then, and things were very good, and things looked very good just like they are. So that's what triggered me to come to EQUUSaT. That's what pushed me this time to come to EQUUSaT. And then after coming, because I think I came around the month to August. I remember we began on 25th August. No, 17th August.
Yeah.
So I came around the month to 17th August. So the follow-up, they tried to follow up, fill in everything. So I felt like it was some good hospitality.
Okay.
And then looking at also the project, hearing about the project in words, it also sounded good to me. So I bought the project and I decided to come to EQUUSaT.
Okay.
Yes, so about
your first impressions when you arrived on campus, EQUUSaT.
Yeah, my first impressions when I arrived at campus, I actually met Joey. The first time I arrived at campus, I was with a friend who had been my OB. So we used this gate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we didn't use the main gate. So Joey was moving out to go and buy breakfast from the hospital canteen. I know you can't remember, but you are with a few friends. So someone told me that's the Guinea president. I was like, oh, I've never seen a female Guinea president.
Wow.
So, I got a chance to say the Guinea president.
Yes.
So the impression was very, very good. This being an international university, so it looked like an international university even when I came.
Yes.
You know, the facility, everything was state of the art, just like this conference room that we are in. So I looked at the labs, I looked at everything. The first impression was good. The only thing is that maybe the life around it, because the population wasn't so big at the moment. So that was my only worry for the time. But the first impression as a university, it looked very, very serious. That maybe I'm not a guy who is so serious. Academically, I'm not. So I was looking at the co-curricular activities that were surrounding the university. So that was the first impression that I had.
Okay. So tell us, how was your early campus life like?
So my early campus life was a little bit easy. Just like I've already told you, I'm not someone who is burdened a lot by the academic life. I find it very easy to excel academically to my expectations. Yeah, to excel to my expectations.
It's very important.
I want to know that I'm an A-class student, but
expectations.
I excel to my expectations.
Okay.
So that has never been a burden to me. Now, the early campus life was measured about juggling classes, making new friends, seeing new things around campus. And it was a little bit worth it because I think I engaged with people that played a lot of football. And I'm a lover of football. I'm not felt so good at playing football, but I'm a lover of football. So we blended in so well. And we enjoyed it. There was a lot to enjoy in my early campus life. And academically, it was a little bit challenging. Because previously, I had never engaged in anything as challenging as the course that I was doing. But after around 3 weeks, I adapted. And things were flowing very, very well.
So more importantly, what inspired you to join student leadership?
What inspired me to join student leadership were some of the challenges that we were seeing that I had at hand. Just like I've told you, I'm not someone who is very serious. And leadership at times demands a certain level of seriousness. But the challenges that we had at hand are the ones that, most of the things that actually brought me into leadership were co-curricular. I was very satisfied with whatever was happening academically, but I wanted more of the co-curricular side. And since it was a new university, and maybe some of my friends believed in me, so I had to come and I wanted personally, since this was a young university, I wanted to lay a building block onto the university. And I felt like I had done my part, of which I think I fulfilled successfully. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm still doing the demo, but
anyways, now that you say that, it's actually a demo. Anyways, so over to Sheriff. Good morning once again, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Your host.
Your host.
Yes. So my first question goes to you. How did you hear about EQUUSaT?
Well, now that's the funny thing. I heard about the EQUUSaT. It was more of like an accident, if you could term it in that way, because I was applying to different universities, both locally and internationally.
Okay.
So, so it reached I think it was almost mid-August, and things were stalling a bit, and the fact that I was looking towards doing medicine, and that if I don't join now, it's another year, and the course is very long, and time is not really a luxury that we have as people. So it was one Friday evening, and my mom called me, and she told me that there's a university, and I think you'll like it, and yeah, we should join, and they told me that like they already started, because I joined like I think after like 3 weeks after the semester I started. So the funny thing is, I didn't even have a look at the university before I joined.
Wow.
Like I just came like straight from Kampala and to the university. So when I heard that the university was in Masakara, my expectations were very low. I was like, I don't know what I'm in for, but wherever God is taking me, he's the best of planners. So I wasn't really very sure what I was in for, but I tried to stay positive. So when we reached like the university, like the first step I took, I was really like impressed by the ambience that the university gives me. Like, yes, the way the university looks at an international level, you know, the laboratories, like the general ambience. Like if you to compare the university with so many universities in Uganda that have spent like maybe like hundreds of years operating, or like decades operating, like you would just be impressed by like a new university, but very, very, very highly well equipped. So that's how I ended up doing it.
Very much. That was quite detailed. So could you briefly point out what were your first impressions? I know you said the ambience, you were disappointed, but were there more? Was there more to it, or it was just that?
Well, as I said, my expectations were different from my impressions. What I expected is far from what was my first impression. Because I told you when I was joining, my first impression, my first expectations were like, I don't know how it looks like, I don't know what life is going to be, I don't know how well equipped the university is, like depending that the university is a new institution. But my first impression, I was blown away. It was past my expectations. And you know what they say, like, you rather expect low, and if at all you have a high expectation, it definitely satisfies you. So yeah, I had a wowing impression, like just by walking through the whole way. And similarly to Ahmed Baramjura, the first day he came, he saw Joy, who was the current group president. Now me, the first day I came, I saw Junju Hudson. I think it was at the dean's office, and then because I was with my brother and my mother, and he was at the dean's office, and the dean was introducing and taking us around, and then it was like, oh, this is the current group president. So yeah, when I saw him, I also like felt a bit inspired. It's like, yeah, he looks as a very responsible person and all. So yeah, at least I got the chance to meet the guild president on my first day.
Wow, thank you very much. I believe joining late must have been difficult for you, but that brings me to my next question. What was your early campus like? How were you able to navigate the challenges and, you know, the fact that you already even came very late, 3 weeks into the semester?
It was, without even sugarcoating it, my early campus life was very bitter. Like, it was very hard. Number one, at the pace at which the course itself is moving, the pace at which life is moving, you know, you're transitioning from like a high school environment to a university environment. In high school, you're used to like things maybe being done for you, you're used to like maybe they tell you do this, do that. But in university, like no one really cares. Like even the way information is passed on, in high school, the teacher will teach you like to the dot. Like he will explain for you everything to the dot. But in high school, in university, it's a different approach. It's lecturing. Like you find that every lecturer has their own style. Some lecturers will come and just like read slides. And the fact that I was 3 weeks late, I remember my first lecture was it was in one of the labs, and it was about the brachial plexus in anatomy. And when they projected and I was seeing these weird structures, I was like, am I in the right place? And the fact that everyone just seemed like they were understanding. I was like, but I must have joined the wrong course. Because everyone was just shaking heads to see people were taking notes, and they're saying words like anterior, posterior, medial, lateral, deep, superficial, and I'm not understanding any of that. Like, I'm so green. So, you know, it was like going from like 0 to 100 really fast. So yeah, it was very challenging, adapting to the environment. As anyone enters like a new environment, changes can be hard at times, but eventually it kept on going, getting better and better over the few months.
So that's beautiful. So my next question, what actually now inspired you after listening to your early campus life? What then inspired you to take up the leadership role that you are currently serving in?
Oh, well, number one, leadership is mainly about service, and as a person, I think my way of life has been service oriented. The satisfaction of you being the reason why maybe someone is changing from a condition that they were not comfortable in to a condition that they were comfortable in. It fuels you. Okay, to me personally, it fuels me and gives me that motivation. And also because I've had very many past leadership roles in various institutions, in my high school, in my primary, even me myself as my family, we have a very, very rich political background through relatives, my parents and everything. So it was deep rooted within, and also to see that maybe I felt like there's something that I could contribute to the environment of the Equator University of Science and Technology, and at least leave a legacy or two, regardless.
Oh, thank you very much. EQUSaT is lucky to have you. So we're going to go on a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be delving into their times as GIG president, what transpired and what is still transpiring. Stay tuned.